Investiture of the Gods, Chapter 84.
And we have to start with the theological motivation behind it. You've got Laozi and Yuanxi Tianzun on one side, representing this sort of centralized righteous path.
The establishment, basically.
Pretty much. And they're fighting Tongtian, whose whole school is just chaos. Laozi actually says it. He accuses Tongtian of the crime of being repetitive and unstable.
That phrase, repetitive and unstable, is so perfect. It's not just that he's a heretic. It feels like the problem is that he has too many followers, too many ideas.
Exactly. Too much instability. When the text talks about 3,000 red vapors, it's suggesting this huge, unmanageable group that refuses to get in line with the grand cosmic plan.
So the showdown starts at the very top. Tell us about that opening clash between the masters.
It's so symbolic. You have Laozi riding his blue ox, very steady, holding a simple flat cudgel.
A cudgel, not even a sword.
Right. And he's facing Tongtian Jiaozu, who's on his ku ox, sword out, full of rage. That single duel is the starting gun. It's the signal for the prophecy that myriad immortals suffer misfortune.
So stability versus rage. While that's happening, Yuanxi Tianzun, he's not just watching, is he? He's sending his own disciples straight into the meat grinder.
He is. He gives them this fascinating command. He tells them they have to go in to fully resolve their karmic dust.
Their karmic dust? What does that actually mean?
It's this concept, Ligno Jichen. It basically means they have to settle their spiritual accounts. They've got these predestined fates, these spiritual debts.
So they have to fight or kill or maybe even die to balance the books for this new celestial order?
That's it, exactly. They're settling accounts. So in Godi, the disciples with Jiangxia and the war god Neza, but then right away the coalition gets bigger.
Right, the unexpected ally.
Luya Daoren, he just flies in from the sky. It shows you this is a huge combined force. This isn't just one school versus another anymore.
Okay, let's go into the heart of the array then, because this is where the special effects budget really goes through the roof. The three great sages and these Dharmakayas.
So these three, Wenshu, Puxian, and Xiang, they show up, and they are just on another level. They're on their mounts, a lion, a white elephant, a golden hike.
But they don't stay in their normal forms for long.
Not at all. They immediately shift into their Dharmakayas, their true battle form.
Their ultimate divine self, right?
Precisely.
Yeah.
We're talking terrifying celestial beings with like 3 heads and 6 arms or 8 heads and 6 arms. They're radiating light, protected by golden lanterns, white lotuses. They're basically walking fortresses of divine power.
Even with all that firepower, Tongtian's top general, Jinling Shengmu, she actually holds her own for a while.
She does. It's a tough fight. She even loses her golden crown in the struggle. But then comes the moment that changes everything.
Opening.
Randing Daoren sees it, and he's holding the sea-calming pearl.
The Dinghai Zhu. Now, this thing is more than just a weapon, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Its role in the system is what's key.
Yeah.
He strikes Jinling Shengmu right on the top of her head, kills her instantly, and the text says she is immediately sealed onto the investiture platform as a starhead.
Wow. No waiting, no processing.
None. That one pearl is so authoritative, it instantly converts a top-tier immortal into basically a mid-level celestial bureaucrat.
Yeah.
It shows the absolute power of the investiture plan.
That's not just a weapon, it's an HR tool. Death means you get a government job immediately.
A terrible one, but yes. Meanwhile, the rest of the Jade Void disciples are just tearing the place apart.
This is the all-out assault.
4 of them unleash the 4 immortal slaying swords, Zhu, Lu, Xian, and Zhu. And the effect is cosmic. The text gives us this incredible line.
I think I know the one.
The 28 constellations were chopped down in an instant. In a moment, the 9 luminaries were all empty.
They literally erased the star charts inside the array.
Wiped them out.
Yeah.
Just gone. And on top of that, you have Jianxia with his god-beating whip, and then Yang Ren uses the 5-fire fan.
Oh,
and just turns the whole battlefield into this fiery hellscape with like thousands of feet of black smoke.
So the array is collapsing. Tongtian's desperate. He's got one last card to play.
The 6th soul banner.
But this is where it all goes wrong for him, internally. Thanks to a guy called Cheng Wing Guangjian.
The long-eared immortal. Tongxian screams for him to use the banner. This thing was meant to kill all 4 supreme leaders, plus King Wu and Jianxia, the entire enemy command structure.
But the banner, it never flies.
Never flies, because Ding Longjian hesitates. He's been watching all this. He sees the protective light, the holy relics around Laozi's side.
And he has a moment of clarity.
A crisis of faith. He realizes his master is just acting out of, and this is the quote, misplaced, erratic anger.
So he just Defects.
Well, this is the interesting part. He doesn't openly surrender. He secretly hides the banner and just runs. He runs over to the Allied side's camp.
So he's not a hero necessarily. He's just hedging his bet.
That's one way to read it, yeah. A practical reading. He saw his master was creating this great karmic creation, mass death, and he wanted out. He waited until the winner was obvious.
Smart move, I guess. And that decision, that one act, it seals the deal.
It does, because right then, the Westerners show up.
Ah, the Western teachers, Jane and Zunti, they're sort of outside the main pantheon, right?
They are, and they arrive to collect the spoils.
It's like a spiritual headhunting mission.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Jain opens his cosmic bag, the King Kundai, which is this huge collecting artifact, and he just starts sucking up all the remaining guests of the 3,000 red vapors.
So anyone left who has an affinity for the Western paradise gets drafted.
Yep, all this spiritual talent that's now up for grabs. He takes them for his own growing faith, and then Zunti arrives to finish the job.
In his ultimate form.
In absolute terrifying force.
Hey.
He manifests his 34-headed, 18-armed Dharmakaya, holding all his sacred objects.
34 heads. I mean, just try to imagine that. That sight alone would be enough to break anyone's morale.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
But Tungtin, now just completely lost to rage, he charges Zunti.
Bad idea.
Terrible idea. Zunti just uses his 7-treasure wonderful tree
A famous one.
and smacks the sword right out of Tungtin's hand. Shatters it. And that's it. His weapon is gone, his army is gone, he just leaps off his ox and flees.
The array is broken, so they all regroup, and now they have to deal with Ding Guangxian.
Right. They pull him out of hiding in the Reed Pavilion, and he has to explain himself. This is where he completes his conversion.
He confesses, says he saw the clear logic of their side.
But they test him.
They need a demonstration.
Exactly. Leslie tells him, show us the banner. But first, they take the names of King Wu and Jiang Shang, the human targets, off of it.
Smart.
Ding Guangxian unfurls it, and the 4 leaders just stand there.
Yeah.
Laozi's pagoda appears over his head. Yuanxi has an auspicious cloud. The Western teachers have their holy relics, their shaliz.
They're completely immune, absolute proof.
And seeing that, Ding Guangxian just throws the banner on the ground. He's convinced. And right away, he gets his reward.
He gets converted.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Jian declares he has an affinity with their teachings and gives him this beautiful poem, Agatha, about the Western paradise. Lotus flowers as parents, 7 treasure gardens, all of it.
So he goes from being on the losing side of a massacre to instant serenity and a high rank in a new religion.
A pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And while the Yuanxi disciples are all celebrating, their karmic debts are paid, the story doesn't end on a purely triumphant note.
Right. There's that final reflection from Zhang Zia.
It's so important. While everyone else is happy, he notes the painful sight of all the innocent Taoists who were slaughtered in the array.
Yeah.
He sees the tragedy in the victory.
That human cost, yeah. It hangs over everything.
The sources paint a picture of just total rapid dispersal.
It was a free-for-all. I mean, the defeated immortals, they scattered instantly. Some of them fulfilled their karma. They became the gods on the seal god list.
The ones who were fated to.
Exactly. Many others were just sort of absorbed into the Western teachings. This is a huge moment, by the way.
It's an opportunity for them.
A massive one. They take advantage of the collapse of Jijiao, and this really confirms the foundation for the later rise of Buddhism as a major celestial power.
And then there were the others. The
innocently slaughtered, Wugu Shouzir, just casualties.
Wow. And in all that chaos, we see key players making these snap decisions that just reshape their entire existence.
They have to. Wudong Shengmu sees it's over, and she's the first to leave. Shen Gongbao, the ultimate villain, he's out of there. He just flees.
But there's one that's really, it's a huge historical moment, like you said, buried in all this.
Pi Luxian, he defects instantly, joins the Western teachings.
Yeah, the source is very specific about this.
Oh, incredibly specific. It explicitly notes that this is the same immortal who would later become the Pilu Buddha, Pilu Fo, an event that wouldn't even be seen for another 1,000 years.
So that one choice, made in a moment of panic, it dictates a whole millennium of celestial history.
Absolutely. A profound choice. Meanwhile, Tongjun Jiaozu is leading his, 200 or 300 survivors, and he is just consumed by rage.
He's blaming Ding Guangxian for stealing his 6 souls banner.
Right, which he believes cost him the whole victory. He's utterly disgraced. He feels he has, and this is a quote, no face to return to his palace.
Bayou Palace.
And his despair. It's
Yeah.
fueled by losing his 4 closest disciples, and it drives him to this ultimate radical conclusion.
The ultimate threat. He says, if you can't do one thing, you might as well do 2.
And his plan.
His plan is to go back to his palace and reestablish earth, water, fire, wind. 地凶风暴.
Okay, let's just pause on that. When he says that to reestablish earth, water, fire, wind, he's not just threatening another war.
No.
He is threatening to scrap the entire operating system of reality.
He wants a total cosmic reboot.
Yes. That phrase refers to the fundamental building blocks of the cosmos. He wants to literally destroy the elemental structure of the universe out of spite.
To just wipe the slate clean.
Yeah.
And his disciples, they're actually on board with this.
They are. But Tongqin stops. He has a moment of clarity or maybe just protocol.
He realizes he has to report to his master, Hongjun Daoren, first.
Even the master of 10,000 immortals has a boss. And that slight hesitation is everything.
Because that's the moment the supreme authority intervenes. While Tongqin is plotting universal destruction, Hongjun Daoren arrives.
And the description of his arrival,
Yeah.
it's designed to just physically and spiritually shatter any resistance.
The sources say, 10,000 streaks of auspicious cloud, 1,000 threads of propitious aura.
An exotic fragrance. He arrives, and then he delivers his gatha, his poem, which is basically a cosmic resume that puts everyone in their place.
He spells it out. He dwells above the 9 heavens. He controls the beginning of creation. He's the leading figure of all the Taoist sects. Swanmen du Lingxi.
When he says that, it's not just poetry. It's a profound statement that everything Tongqin fought for, even reality itself, is secondary to his master's will.
And Tongqin, the man who's just moments ago planning to end all life.
He's instantly humbled. He rushes to his master, falls to his knees, asks for forgiveness.
The rage is just gone
Yeah.
instantly. He's reduced to a shamefaced pupil.
And the scolding is immediate and intense. Hongjun rebukes him for causing the infinite slaughter of life to Tan Wuxian Shengling.
He calls Tongqin deceptive, Qishan, and says the slaughter was his own doing.
Its own karmic retribution. Jinyun. Hongjun is basically saying, stop blaming your brothers. This is your mess.
And then he puts the whole thing into this incredible cosmic perspective.
He does. He reminds his 3 disciples, Laozi, Yuanxi, and Tongqin, that they are Hongjun Deluo golden immortals.
Okay, so to ground us, when he says that, what is he really reminding them of?
He's reminding them that they're already at the true pinnacle of the Taoist hierarchy. They are functionally eternal. The phrase means their bodies are impervious to 10,000 eons.
So they should be above all this.
Exactly. They should be concerned with cosmic stability, but here they are, fighting over petty things like fame and anger, things that should only concern mortals. It's a spectacular moment of divine judgment.
So the verdict is clear. The calamity might have been predestined, but Tongqin is overwhelmingly at fault for not reining in his disciples.
Right. And Hongjun has come to resolve their grievances because otherwise the cycle of retaliation would just never ever end. He enforces an immediate summit.
He orders Tongqin to go to the canopy where Laozi and Yuanxi are waiting.
And the sources say he goes reluctantly and shamefacedly.
Laozi and Yuanxi aren't surprised, though. They knew their master was coming.
They knew the cycle was complete. The Western leaders are there too, Jian and Zunti. The whole Supreme Council has been convened.
And Hongjun reviews the official reason for this whole war. The Seal God list was created because the Zhou dynasty was rising.
And Tongqin's great sin was listening to his disciples and breaking that heavenly oath, which led to all this unplanned slaughter.
Which brings us to the most defining moment of the binding contract.
The thing that enforces the peace. Hongjun orders all 3 of them, Laozi, Yuanxi, and Tongqin, to kneel.
He pulls out a gourd and gives each of them 1 pill.
Yeah, and this is the core insight. You'd think, okay, is this for healing? For long life?
No, not at all. It's an enforcement mechanism.
It's an internal divine kill switch.
So achieving impervious immortality doesn't mean you're free.
Not at all. It just means you're now subject to a more powerful internal contract. Hongjun recites this warning poem to seal it.
If any of the 3 changes their mind or attacks the others,
the pill will instantly take effect in their belly and they will die.
Instant. Guaranteed death for breaking the truce. That's permanent.
It permanently ends the potential for conflict. Hongjun takes Tongqin with him, the Western leaders leave, and the phase of open conflict is definitively over.
But the cleanup crew is still active down on the mortal plane, which brings us back to Zhang Zia.
Right, Zia's still in the field. He needs guidance. He asks Laozi about the pending assembly of the 800 lords.
The final step.
And Laozi gives him this crucial predictive poem. Basically, don't worry about what's ahead. The lords will assemble soon. Just wait for the investiture of the gods.
So the path is clear, and he gets a parting gift.
a powerful one.
Luya Daoren.
Says farewell, but notes Zia still faces danger. He hands over his gourd treasure.
The one with the flying dagger. The foidu.
For the few remaining difficult tasks.
And we can't wrap this up without talking about the ultimate orchestrator of all this chaos.
Shen Gongbao.
He didn't get far.
No. He's trying to escape on his tiger, thinks he's gotten away with it. But Yuanshi Tianzun is notified and sends the yellow turban warriors to capture him.
Using the 3-treasure jade scepter.
And Yuanshi reminds them. Shen Gongbao swore a terrible oath to support the Shang. He broke a cosmic promise.
So when he's caught, the sentence is, well, it's perfectly poetic, isn't it?
It's harsh. It's permanent.
Yeah.
Yuanshi commands them to roll him up in his own pulpit mat and take him to seal the North Sea Eye. Saila Beinin.
Seal the North Sea Eye. What does that mean?
It means eternal binding service. His oath was a profound cosmic betrayal, so his punishment has to match. He will spend eternity literally stopping a flood. His chaos is now being used to create order.
Jiang Ziya's forces are basically on the capital's doorstep. They've reached the last major line of defense.
That's right. And the immediate objective, the critical one, is Lintong Pass.
Lintong Pass.
Yeah. The army is just 80 lides away, which is, I don't know, maybe a day or two of hard marching.
So they can feel it. But the defenders, they're not just going to wait, are they? The commander is Yu Yangchun.
Exactly. He knows that just sitting there is a losing game. So he and his deputies, Bian Jinlang, Gi Tianlu, and Gongsun duo, they come up with a plan.
A pretty standard one, right? Test the waters.
A classic maneuver, send out a small force, feel out the enemy's strength, and then probably settle in for a long, grinding siege.
A sound strategy. On paper.
On paper. But it falls apart almost immediately. Jing Zia calls for a volunteer.
And of course, the martial achievement king, Huang Feihu, steps up.
The first one out there, a true legend, and he does not waste time.
So he meets the first Shang general, Bian Jinlang, and you think, okay, this is going to be an epic duel, but no.
Not at all. This is where you really see the Zhu momentum. Bian Jinlang comes out, he's furious, yelling about treason, but the fight itself, the sources say it lasts just 30 rounds.
That's it, 30 rounds.
Feihu fakes an opening, lands a huge blow, and stabs Bian Jinlang right off his horse. First blood. Done.
An absolute disaster for the Shan defense, but a massive victory for Zhu.
Huge. But that quick victory, that, flash of skill from Hong Feihu, that is exactly what sets the real trap.
Because the next threat isn't strategic.
It's a
personal. It's pure blinding vengeance.
And that brings us to Bian Ji. This is where the story pivots from, conventional war to something much darker. Occult terror.
Right. So the news of Bian Jinlang's death gets back to the pass.
And the grief is overwhelming. His wife, Sushi, is completely devastated, but their son, Bianji, he's just beyond that. The text makes a point of saying he ignores his mother's sorrow.
All he's focused on is one thing.
Revenge. Pure revenge against Huang Feihu.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because he doesn't just grab a spear and ride out. He deploys something. Well, something horrifying.
A weapon that isn't for dueling. It's designed for capture, for paralysis, using forbidden magic.
We're talking about the banner of ghostly 100 bones.
Yes. And just try to picture this thing. It's on a staff that's 4 or 5 zang high, so like 40, maybe 50 feet tall.
Towering over the battlefield.
Like a macabre mast. And the banner itself is described as being myriad bones compiled. It's literally woven from bones. This is necromancy.
It sounds like an instrument of what the text calls left path magic.
Absolutely. And there's this chilling poem in the source material that basically warns, if the King of Zhu were not blessed with great fortune, 1 million soldiers would be in danger here.
1 million soldiers. From one artifact.
It just throws the entire rulebook out the window. Bianji knows he doesn't need to beat Huang Feihu in a fair fight. He just needs to get him close.
So he sets up the banner and calls him out by name.
He does. But Huang Feihu doesn't come out first. Instead, it's Nan Gongshu.
And he's probably a bit overconfident. Laughs at this kid.
He's experienced, and they fight hard. 20 to 30 rounds, a pretty even match. So Bianji realizes he can't win outright.
He springs the trap.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
He pretends to lose, does the classic retreat, but the key is where he retreats.
Not towards the pass. He goes under the banner.
Right under it. And Nan Gongshi, he's in the heat of the chase. He just follows.
And that's it for him.
The effect is immediate. The second he passes under the banner, the evil energy hits. The source says, man and horse tumbled down, instantaneously unconscious.
Captured. Just like that.
Dragged back into the past. He only wakes up hours later realizing magic got him, not skill.
That should have been the loudest warning siren for the entire Zhu army.
You would think. But the very next day, Bianji is out there again, screaming for Huang Feihu.
And this is where that personal pride, that rage, becomes so dangerous. Feihu has been warned. He knows it's a trap.
But the call for vengeance, the debt of blood from the day before, is too strong. He rides out with his deputy, Huang Ming.
Same exact story. They duel. Bianji fakes a retreat after about 30 rounds.
And Feihu, despite knowing better, chases him right under the banner. Gone. Captured.
And Huang Ming.
He tries to rush in and save him, and he gets captured too. Instantly paralyzed.
So in less than 48 hours, the Shang have lost their vanguard general but have captured two of the most important commanders in the entire Zhu army.
And this is where Bianji's personal quest for revenge just slams headfirst into political reality.
He wants them executed, right? An eye for an eye.
Immediately. He wants Hong Feihu's head to avenge his father. But Wu Yongshun, the commander, says no.
Now, why would he do that? This is a huge victory.
It is, but this brings us to a really fascinating look at the absolute instability of the Shang court back in the capital, Saogi.
The politics.
It's always the politics. Another deputy, Gong Sun Duo, has to step in and explain the situation. He says the court is just filled with traitors and sycophants.
So, internal corruption.
Rampant. These officials are constantly undermining the generals on the front lines. They accuse them of, and this is a quote, fabricating campaigns and wasting funds.
So they're basically saying this whole war is fake and the generals are just pocketing the money.
That's the accusation. So if Wu Yangqin just executes Huang Feihu and Nan Gongxi right now,
he loses his proof.
He loses his most powerful, undeniable proof that the Zhu invasion is real, that it's an existential threat.
Wow. So the prisoners become political assets.
Far more valuable alive than dead. Gongsun Duo argues they have to send them to the capital alive. Their presence will stop the mouths of the traitors and force the court to actually send help.
So a son's personal vengeance has to take a backseat to bureaucratic survival. That's brutal.
It is. The generals are spared and thrown in a dungeon. And now the problem is, back with Jiang Ziya, how do you deal with this magical nightmare?
He has to go see it for himself, I imagine.
He does, and he's deeply concerned. He gets close enough to see the details, and he notes that the white bones on the banner are covered in cinnabar symbols and seals.
So this isn't just random evil energy. It's organized. It's ritual magic.
Exactly. It's high-level left path magic. And his immediate order to his disciples is, stay away from it.
But Zhu generals aren't exactly known for their patience.
Not at all. And a couple of them figure their own divine powers should be more than a match for whatever this is.
First up is Lei Zhenzi, the winged general.
Right. He sees the black energy and he thinks, brute force from above. It's just fly up and smash the thing with my club.
Why, how does that go for him?
It's an utter failure. The banner's evil energy is so potent that it just repels him. He gets knocked back, falls unconscious, and is immediately captured.
That makes 3 major generals and a deputy. This is turning into a catastrophe.
The morale must have been at rock bottom. You're fighting an enemy that your strongest warriors can't even touch.
And this leads to maybe the most telling failure of all, Wei Yu's attempt.
Absolutely, because Wei Yu has a very specific tool for this job. The famous demon-subduing pestle.
Which is... well, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's designed to counter evil magic.
It is the go-to weapon in this universe for demons, evil spirits, that kind of thing. So if the banner is left path magic,
the pestle should work.
It should work, which is why its failure is so important. The source is very specific here. It says the pestle, though able to suppress demons, could not strike this banner.
It just fell. Useless.
Right, which tells us something crucial. This banner's power isn't the standard demonic energy they're used to fighting.
It's operating on a different magical frequency, maybe. Something that bypasses their normal defenses.
It could be human sorcery, an ancient necromantic ritual. Whatever it is, it's a specialized lock, and they just don't have the key.
So fighting magic with their own magic isn't working. They need something else.
They need a divine counterpunch. Something that just completely resets the terms of the fight.
And thankfully for them, that is exactly what Nezha is.
This is the turning point. Because Nezha doesn't just ride out, he unleashes everything.
He transforms.
Completely. He appears with 3 heads and 8 arms, holding all of his divine weapons at once. Bianji is visibly shaken. He's used to fighting generals. He is not ready for this celestial fury.
And Nezha's strategy is different. He doesn't go for the banner.
No, he goes straight for the operator. He uses his universe ring and strikes Bianji directly,
injuring him.
badly enough that Bianji has to abandon the field and retreat back into the pass. And just like that, the weapon is neutralized.
With the magic gone, the Zhu command sees their chance.
Immediately, Li Jing, Nez's father, takes the initiative. He kills the other deputy, Gi Tianlu, with a single spear thrust. Wu Yongchun, who was relying entirely on this one magical trick, is suddenly facing a conventional war he cannot win.
He rushes out to fight Li Jing himself, but the Zhu have had enough of duels.
They're done with it. They switch immediately to just overwhelming force.
Total commitment. Wu Yongchun isn't just fighting Li Jing, he's suddenly surrounded.
By everyone. The list is incredible. Li Jing, Zhu Ji, Long Han, Wu Qian, the four sages, even the strategists like Zhu Gongdan and Shao Gongxi join the charge.
There's no coming back from that.
No, he's completely overpowered. The text says he can only parry without the power to return a blow. The pass falls.